Hey there everybody, my name is Keno, and welcome back to our Butte Bandits expansion mode franchise mode series mode. Anyways, I'm being a little lighthearted here, but I'm a little upset. In between recordings, I lost the last save file. Luckily, I make a lot of duplicate files, but I did have to redo the draft and redo that big Brandon Montour trade. I don't know if I missed one of the players in the draft that we picked. I think I might have, but regardless, everything kind of still went the same. We got all the same assets. I didn't make any different draft picks because that just feels a little cheaty knowing who was actually decent. We still have Josiah Bahinski. We still have that Rafael Pouliot as the low elite defender. And then in the re-sign phase, I offered Brad Hayden another 7-year contract. The difference this time, though, he wasn't asking for a lot. So he signed, well, he's been offered 7 years at, I think, $4.35 million. So we saved almost $500,000 a year because of this little screw up. So I guess that's kind of like the stupid tax from EA that they're paying us. But still, we have decisions to make here. We are going to let go of Nick Hague. I've thought about it. We have defensemen coming up. We don't necessarily need him. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 if we bring back Alexei Myers. If not, then we still have Ball, Maniscalco, Ascending Palika. We have a lot of options here. So I'm going to quickly go through, re-sign people that I think we need to keep on the team and let go of everyone else. Alright, I've offered everyone contracts that I want to keep on the team. I had mentioned in the last video that I kind of wanted to keep Scott Lawton and Connor Garland around, so I did offer them contracts. Whether they accept or not is one thing. I have not offered Nick Hague a contract. I don't see the point in it. I have offered Alexiak and Myers 1-year extensions each. So let's see what happens as we sim this first day. So Coleman extends. AJ Greer's back. Yakov Trenin doesn't want to play unless he's playing in the NHL. So I understand that. Scott Lawton does accept. Travis Dermott accepts. Barrett Hayden doesn't want to accept. He wants a little bit more financial worth for that contract. So I understand that. Dylan Duke accepts. Tyler Myers doesn't think we're going to win now, so doesn't want to sign with us. Connor Garland does take the extension. William Carey took the extension. And then Alexiak, he wants to win now as well, so he doesn't really want to take that contract extension. But everyone else does sign. Looking great. Okay, so we just have Alexiak and Myers that we really have to offer contracts to with $19 million to spend. I think we got a little bit of wiggle room here. Again, I don't want to give him more than 1 year, so we'll give him 1 year, $3 million, a little bit of a pay bump, and then for Myers, again, 1 year, maybe $2 million, and see if he accepts that. And then who's the other one who didn't want to extend? It's Barrett Hayden. And oh yeah, we haven't offered Claude Giroux a contract. I'm not sure if we're going to. I don't know where he'll fit in the lineup unless he's bumping someone down. And I kind of want to go in the top 9 with some more younger players. So you see how he's asking for a lot less. So we're going to go 7 years at $4.5 million. And that will be, I think, pretty fair for him. Yakov Trenin, I'll give 1 year, $2 million to you as well. Because we could be another team to miss the playoffs again. This team has let us down before, even when we thought they were absolutely stacked. So we'll have to see. We're going to send this day here. Our AHL head coach wants to stay, and then a whole bunch of scouts are re-signing, including Carey Price. So that's pretty awesome. I think Yakov Trenin extended, Barrett Hayden does extend, Tyler Myers extends, and Jamie Alexiak extends. So that's perfect. So it's just Giroux and Hague who need contracts, and we're not bringing back Hague. He's asking for $7 million. That's not happening. Giroux's not asking for a lot, just about under $3.5 million. He did great for us in the playoffs, but that was with him on the top line. I'm going to release him. He was just supposed to be a rental. It was mostly Barrett Hayden that was going to stick around. And now our team is kind of set. I'm actually not too upset with the way this team is looking going into our 3rd or 4th free agency, I believe. So that's not too bad. Let's quickly sim to the free agent phase here and see who's available. Maybe we'll be making another big addition. Maybe we'll add another key player to our roster. I don't think so. I think I kind of want to go with the rookies that we've added. But let us see who is available in this year's free agency. So, oh my gosh. We're going to go by UFAs. So, Kochetkov, Bennington, Anderson, we don't need a goalie. We have our goalie. Any prospects? Not really. So, we don't need a goalie. We have our goalies. We have our backup goalies. We're pretty set. Maybe we look at bringing in like a depth backup. Like, I mean, Kochetkov would be a pretty good other option. 895 though, 31 wins. Yeah, even Tarasov doesn't look that good. But again, I don't know. Maybe they look bad on other teams, but look great with us. I'll think about that. I'll sit on that one. Defensively, Oh, there was a name there, but he is an RFA in Quinn Hughes, asking for nearly $15 million though, so that's gonna be a nope. Jaden Strubl's here, and he is asking for little for a pretty top quality defender. Maybe we send in an offer sheet. Maybe it's worth it. But again, for UFAs, it's Hag asking for significantly less now. John Marino, Jared Spurgeon, Brady Shea round out the top players there. I think we'd be only looking at depth, and with 48 spots out of 50, not looking for too much depth. As for prospects, not looking like there's any, honestly. No, nothing here really for defense that is screaming at me, so we're gonna pass on that. Maybe Struble, but I don't see a need to. Forwards though, there is a big fish available. We just don't have the current amount of money to offer him. Nico Hischier, 12.35 million is what he wants over a 6-year contract. He had 28 goals, 55 assists for 83 points in 82 games. That's a big fish, but I think we're pretty set up the center. Like, you guys can freak out at me all you want. I think we're pretty set up the center. I don't think we really need to add anything here. Is there any? Yeah, there's Yegor Chinnikov. He looks pretty decent. He looks like a pretty good piece here. Philip Kirchev is available again. Ryan McLeod is also available. He looks okay. Kirchev didn't do good with us. We sent him off because he just angered me too much. Noah Cates. You know what? Yeah, that's the one I'm immediately going to go in on. We're going to give you, I believe 5 years is the new window. I don't mind signing him long term. 5 years, 3.5 million. That was immediately a slam dunk for me. We have to have him on the team because his defensive ability is just too damn good. That also takes us out of the Nico Hischier running. I don't think we're in it in the first place. I will offer Yegor Chinnikov a 1-year contract. I'll keep him RFA status, so if he does good for us, we can extend him. If he doesn't do good for us, we can flip him. I'm gonna lowball him too. 1 year, 2.95 million. If he accepts, he accepts. If he doesn't, well, that kind of dodges the bullet for us, and that's probably gonna do it. I mean, we have Harabel, we have Gustafsson, and we have Trey Augustine in net. We don't really need to add another one. And if both those guys suck, we can call up Talon Boyko or Brendan Bussey. So I don't see a need for goaltenders. And then again, up the center, we have Cooper Appleby. We have to sign Josiah Bohinski. We have Peyton Krebs, Barrett Hayton, Pierre-Luc Dubois. We're just too stacked up the center. There's no need to add Nico Hischier. And you guys can freak out at me. I made a big move in the last episode, okay? I don't need to make another big move here. Alright, so if you want to call this the big move of the episode, you can call it the big move of the episode. I'm going to dump JT Compher and John Beecher, because John Beecher, I just don't want to see that contract biting me back in the ass for the next 5 years. So we're going to move them out to the Dallas Stars for a 2nd round pick. This seems like a bit of overpayment, if anything. Let's see, do they take it? Yeah, not too much to deliberate on this deal. So JT Compher and John Beecher are off the team, and I may do that for a certain reason. I seriously think we're going to go in here and offer him a contract. I noticed that he drops his asking price by just over $2 million if you change how long you want to sign him for. I could sign him to 7 years and fit him in the contract, or I could sign him to 5 years and fit him in the contract window. What I'm going to do, he probably won't take it because we're a bad team in most players' eyes. We're going to do 5 years at $11 million a year. I could do the John Tavares contract, 7 years at $11 million a year, but I'm going to do 5 years because we have to keep a little bit of flexibility, and having a 7-year, $11 million contract is not flexible. We could possibly get him signed for cheaper after that 5-year window. But here we go. 5 years, $11 million to the 91 overall centerman. I know I said I wasn't going to go in for him. I know it. You guys can say, you're a hypocrite. You're going back on your word all the time. I fly by the seat of my ass 90% of these episodes. How do you expect? We're going through almost entire years in 2 to 3 episodes, okay? I have to make these decisions pretty quick, because if you think about it, in the grand scheme of things, these decisions are split up over like a 12 to 18 month window over 3 episodes. Now these ones, I guess, are split up over a week and a half or so. Like, yeah, okay, maybe I'm making a little bit of rapid moves pretty quickly here with these Butte Bandits, but it's because I want them to win so damn bad. And this seems like the key piece to get us there. This seems like the key piece to get us there. So Nico Hischier, will you accept this 5-year contract offer to play for the Butte Bandits? Probably not. He's probably going to go to the Vancouver Canucks. But I think that was a fair offer for us to make. Let's see. I'm a little nervous now. We don't need any new scouts. We don't need any coaches. We're ready to go. Let's see. Day by day, probably by the 4th day, we'll start hearing something back from the 2 skaters we offered. Joel Eriksson Ek for 2 seconds in Boyko. Okay, we're going to keep that in mind if it falls through with Nico Hischier. All right, July 5th here is when we're going to hear back from Yegor Chinnikov and Noah Cates. Let's see. Chinnikov took the low ball contract. Okay, very interesting. And we don't hear back from Noah Cates. So let's see how much cap we have available. We offered $11 million to Nico Hischier. We currently have $15.6 million. We're going to be fine. We're going to be fine. And Nico Hischier's contract offers dropped significantly. He doesn't even want 11 million now. He wants 10.3 over 6. 3 teams interested. We're not going to get him. I mean, we could try to go in for Quinn Hughes here and really screw the Vancouver Canucks. But we have to give up, what, 4 first-round picks in order to do it? I'm not going to offer him a contract. I'm just going to see if we were to give him the 5 years, $11.75 million. This year's first 3 rounds of picks and next year's first round pick. Oh, let's see what happens with Nico Hischier. Let's see what happens here. Okay, and let's see. Do Noah Cates and Nico Hischier sign with a team? Nico Hischier goes to the Vegas Golden Knights. Oh, Noah Cates does accept though. Noah Cates is back. Noah Cates is with the Butte Bandits now. So that's good news. That's great. Quinn Hughes is still on the table. Sidney Crosby, Joe Pavelski. Some veterans here. Do I need him? He'd take Keandre Miller right out of the lineup. By 3 picks. A first, second, third. 2 first, a second, and a third. For Quinn Hughes, it seems like a bit of an underpayment, honestly. So you know what? Does it change if I... No, it's actually goes higher. Okay. And then how about this? Okay, well, I don't want him for 3 years. I want him for 5 years. 5 years, $11.75 million. I will offer that. I don't think we need to be big players in the draft. And if we do need to be, we'll do it in the later rounds. We're making a big play here for Quinn Hughes. Let's see what happens. We're going to go day by day here until we hear back from Quintavious Hughes. Oh, Isaac Rosen for Tyler Myers. That seems interesting. Let's see. Do we hear back from Quinn Hughes on July 10th? On July 11th? He's decided to re-sign with the Vancouver Canucks. That is unfortunate. So both big fish free agent pieces do not sign with us. We are now left with pretty much nothing here. We got to really just make do with what we have. We missed out on both Nico Hischier and Quinn Hughes. I don't think there's any moves that we can make via trading, and maybe it's best that we didn't get them. So we're going to sim to the next season here, and I'll be back with you with these new lines. Alright, the 2026-2027 season is about to begin, and let's take a look at how players have developed through the offseason. Now, we already see Michael Hrabal, 83 overall goaltender. He's a backup for us this season for sure. I haven't set the lines up yet. I kind of want to see, my normal tradition is to see how everyone has developed through the offseason. Now, in the system, Trey Augustine is an 82, Eric Olson is a 77, and then it looks like Brendan Bussey's off the team, so I don't understand what happened there, but Talon Boyko is a 76. Defensively, Mike Benning is an 83, Sandin Pellikka is an 82, Maniscalco and Dermott are both 81, Odelius is an 80, Ball's an 80, Gleason's a 79. That's just in the minors. That's like an NHL defensive core in the minors. In the NHL, Gerard, Pesci, Miller, Edvinson's still an 86, Alexiak and Myers 83, 82, and then Jack Thompson. So maybe we send the veterans down and give the rookies a shot. I think that's probably what I'll do. That's looking real damn good. On the right wing, we have Brock Besser, Yegor Chinnikov, and Connor Garland back with the team still. And then in the minors, Igor Sokolov, Jacob Perreault, Konstantinos, Ryder Ritchie, and Adam Jekko. So only Perreault and Sokolov really missing out. Konstantinos didn't grow as much as I thought he would. Left wingers, we have William Carrier, AJ Greer, Clark Caswell, Dylan Duke, and Maxwell Ellison, who's now 70 overall in the minors. And in the ANHL, we have Dominic Pruka, Nikita Shibrikov, Noah Cates, Michael Rasmussen, and Blake Coleman. So that is a really stacked left wing. In the NHL, centers are Cooper Appleby, Pierre-Luc Dubois, Barrett Hayden, Peyton Krebs, and Scott Lawton. Cooper Appleby is now an 89 overall. He is gonna be scary for us. In the minors, Jakob Trenin, Akil Thomas, Henry Nikkanen, Felix Robert, Oscar Bach, Curtis Hall, Maverick Bork, and Kyler Brennan, or Kip Brennan, which is Christopher Brennan. I got them both wrong. So we're pretty solid. We're pretty solid here. All right, and now the lines are set. We have Krebs, Hayton, Besser reunited on that top line. Pruka, Appleby, Shabrikov on that second line. Cates, Dubois, Chinnikov on the third line, and Rasmussen, Lawton, Garland on that fourth line. Now, one thing that I have been thinking about is the fact that we don't have any attributes for some of our stars. Like, I was expecting Shabrikov to get some sort of attribute boost. He's got 99 offensive awareness. And when I say attribute boost, I mean the zone abilities or the superstar abilities. Pruka doesn't have one. Krebs doesn't have one. Hayton, I kind of understand that Krebs and Hayton might not have one. But you expect Shabrikov and Pruka to maybe have developed them. I don't know how it works all the time. Cates, I kind of want him to have one. You know, there's a lot of players here that you think should have zone abilities or superstar abilities, but just don't. But this is how our forward core is lining up. Now, I don't necessarily love the idea of Rasmussen on that fourth line because I kind of want him up. But who does he take the spot of? Krebs? And do Rasmussen, Hayton, Besser, and Krebs on the fourth line? No, it doesn't make sense. And plus, Rasmussen is listed as a third checking line forward. I love all of his stats. We're going to try to get him some special teams play. But aside from that, going to the defensive core, we have Gerard and the new rookie Benning, Edvinsson, the new addition, with the other new addition, Axel Sandin Pellikka, and then Keandre Miller and Brett Pesce on the third pair. Yes, you can freak the hell out of me as you want. I have them the starting pair. They have a +3. Hopefully they don't get too upset. The problem is that if I put them anywhere else, it just doesn't work. Maybe Miller goes up with Pellikka, but then I don't want Edvinsson down. He's younger and he's got a little better potential. It's medium elite compared to high elite, but he's a 26-year-old. He's not getting any better. I could put Gerard down here, but again, you see those minuses that immediately pop up. Sandin Pellikka can't be on that bottom pair. Neither can Benning. It just doesn't work. They're both listed as top pairing defenders via chemistry, so I want to get them the proper ice time and the proper line combinations. And then in net, obviously, it's Gustafsson and Hrabal, because those two were dynamic for us last season. Even though Gustafsson struggled at times, he was also solid when Hrabal wasn't, and Hrabal carried the load when Gustafsson couldn't. So it kind of works out properly. And then we have Blake Coleman and Jamie Alexiak as our scratches. Down in the minors, we have William Carrier with Yakov Trenin and Igor Sokolov, Clark Casbolt with Keel Thomas and Constant Hellenius, Adrian Greer with Felix Robert and Jacob Perreault, and then Duke, Bach, and Richie on that fourth line. Now, I think I still have to tinker with these. I don't remember if I did or not. It's actually been a few days in between recording the first half and the second half of this video. You might not even realize where the seam was. You probably will if you're keen-eyed. But yeah, I do have to do some editing down here. And then we have Ball, Thompson, Dermott, Myers, Gleason, and Maniscalco. So these guys are pretty much a pretty decent NHL defense, let alone an AHL defense. So I'm not too upset with how this is looking. Scratched, we have Maverick Bork. Yeah, we got to get Allison in. We got to get Adelius in. We got to get a few of these players in. Okay, so give me 1 second and I'll get these lines set up. All right, the lines are now set. We have Ellison in with Akil Thomas and Constant Hellenius on that second line. Clark Casbolt has been bumped up with Maverick Bork and Igor Sokolov. Carrier, Felice Robert, and Adam Jecko on that third line with Duke, Bach, and Richie still on that fourth line. And then defensively, it's Adelius and Thompson, Dermott, Myers, Ball, and Maniscalco with Trey Augustine and Eric Olson in net. Scratch, we have Boyko, Nikkanen. You know, there's a few players here where I want to get Christopher Brennan in. Definitely need to get him in the lineup. There's a few players I just don't know where to put them. Yes, I could take Felix Robert out, put in Christopher Brennan, see if I can get him to develop. I would love to get Maxwell Ellison into the NHL, but again, if we can't even fit Rasmussen anywhere but that fourth line, where am I going to put Maxwell Ellison? Unless we do a massive gamble and send off Peyton Krebs and bring Maxwell Ellison up and have Ellison, Hayton, Besser as that top line and see if Ellison can develop at all, that'd be great. But I think everyone is on board when I say that it might be time to say Maxwell Ellison is a career AHLer. I mean, he's 21, low top 6 potential still. His attributes are still pretty weak. Even his shot isn't that great. For a power forward, you want a good shot, good offensive skills, and he just doesn't have that. So, you know, I know he had a 50-goal season in the minors last year. It was because we were double shifting him, though. We can't forget that. He had 6 points in 10 games when we called him up. And he wasn't double shifted there. We can't deny he's had 107 giveaways last season. He just wasn't doing too great. Now, when it comes to lineups, that's just what I have set for right now. I'm always willing to accept different lineup options, lineup combinations. If you guys want to leave them in the comments down below, I have no problem with that. Also, if you guys have any idea what to do with Maxwell Ellison, if you know a way to grow him, that'd be great. As for right now, though, we have our team set up. There's a few different line combinations I might make if the team is struggling. We also have to take a look at something big here, and that's the fact that Brock Besser is now in the final year of his contract with the team. He's 29 currently, probably 30 when the contract expires. He has done great for us. There's no doubt. He's gotten like an aggregate of 40 goals a season since joining us. 38 in the first one, 42 in the second one. He has just been great in the playoffs. We've only gone to the playoffs once with him, and he had 14 points in 16 games. So nothing bad there either. So he's definitely someone we want to keep around. Do we have a space for him long term? Probably. We could probably fit him. He's asking for pretty good amount. I mean, 4 years is just that sweet spot, or else he starts asking for around 10 million. We'll revisit this later, probably after July or January 1st. See what's going on there. We also have Simon Edvinsson, who's going to need another contract. And again, we have 32.9 million in cap space after this season. So we're not going to be that cap strapped. I'd like to get Simon Edvinsson locked up long term though, because we can't risk him possibly exploding this season. That's something you guys let me know in the comments if I should wait or if I should offer him money now. I think that's pretty much it. Michael Rasmussen doesn't want to extend. Then we have the likes of Yegor Chinnikov and our expiring UFAs like Lawton, Myers, Trennan, Carrier, and the such. And then goaltenders, we are pretty good here. We don't have any expiring goaltenders. Hrabal still got this year and next. And yeah, it looks like Gustafsson still got next year, this year, next year, the year after that, the year after that, and the year after that. So we're good when it comes to the net. But you guys let me know, should I be signing Brock Besser for long term? Should I keep him around on the team, or should we possibly look to move him out and bring up one of the rookies? We have a lot of rookies. I mean, it'll all depend on how this season plays out. Are we going to be a playoff team, or are we going to be sellers at the deadline? I'm not sure. I'm going to sim to the regular season here, and I'll be right back with you guys. All right, we're ready to get our regular season going against the Philadelphia Flyers here. I think we're ready to get back into this and have a decent season. We didn't make any coaching changes because we didn't really have to. Our lines, especially our top six, are still the same. And aside from losing Brandon Montour, everything's pretty much the same. So we'll see how the season goes. And it'll start with this very first game here against the Philadelphia Flyers. Let's see, game 1 of the season. How does it go? First period. And we have a 2-1 lead. Appleby gets the first goal of the season for your Butte Bandits. Matvey Michkov answers for the Philadelphia Flyers. And then Keandre Miller gets a goal to put us up 2-1. Shots are 13-6. So we're over doubling them in shots. Just a 1-goal edge so far, though. Second period. And we add to that 1-goal edge. Okay, so Peruka gets his first of the season. Krebs notches his. Appleby on the power play gets his second of the game and of the season. And then Noah Cates, his first in the Butte Bandits franchise. So that's a pretty good second period there. 4-goal second period. I'm not too upset with that. Shots are 24-15 in favor of your Butte Bandits. We had 9 shots that period. They had about 6, 7. I can't do the math right now. I'm not feeling very good. I'm tired. All right, third period. We're gonna quick sim this one. And it finishes 7-1. Mike Bennon gets his first goal in the NHL. We dominate the Flyers. Shots were 42-20. Score is 7-1. What a good first outing. Maybe that's promising. Maybe that's the way the season's gonna trend for us, is in dominating wins. Or maybe we just have one and we're gonna struggle. Second game against Dallas Stars here. I'm gonna quick sim this one. And it's a 4-3 win. Very good. Very good news for us. Against the Florida Panthers here in game 3. How do we do? And it's a 7-2 loss. Not so good. Not so great. Against the Ottawa Senators here in game 4. How do we do? A 5-3 loss. So 2 straight losses. You know my rule. I'm going to go back to Hrabal now and see how he does. Up against the Toronto Maple Leafs here. Game 5 of the season. Hrabal's first start of the season. It's kind of fitting too, because it's the second half of a back-to-back, and we don't want to overwork Gustafsson within the first month of the season. All right, so first period against the Toronto Maple Leafs. And the Leafs have a 2-0 lead on us. Niemela and Matthews on the power play. Not very good for us. Shots are 14-13 though, so we're putting up a fight. Second period. And we get one. It's Michael Rasmussen, the newcomer. Shots are 26 apiece, but the score is 2-1. Third period. Gonna quick sim this one. And it finishes 3-2 for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Matthew Nas puts them up 3-1. Cooper Appleby tries to get us back in the game, but it's a little too late. Shots were 39-37 for your Butte Bandits, but the score finishes 3-2, and we are on a 3-game skid. after a successful first 2 games of the season. So not great news. Appleby has 5 goals in 5 games. We're going to go through another 5 games here and see just how the team does. We're going to keep hobbling net against the Chicago Blackhawks here. Let's see. It's a 5-4 shootout loss. So I'm gonna give Frobel that one. We're going to go up here against the Arizona Coyotes, and then we'll switch Gustafson back into net against the Oilers. But let's see, the Coyotes are off to a pretty hot start here. We're going to quick sim this one against the Coyotes. Game 7. It's a 4-2 win, so nice little win there. I'm still going to put Gustafson in net because I don't want to overwork my goalies. I don't know if that's a system in EA Sports NHL. Sometimes I'm amazed by the small things I find. Plus, Robel's only got 1 win for us in it starts. Let's go Game 8 here against the Oilers. Going to quick sim this one, and it's a 4-3 win. Okay, so back in the win column. 3 points in our last, or points in our last 3 games is what I mean. Up against the struggling Buffalo Sabres team here in Game 9 of the season. So we're going to quick sim this one and then slow sim the Carolina Hurricanes game for the final game of this video. Against the Buffalo Sabres, we win 6-3, and Besser is now the leading scorer for the team with 11 points in 9 games. Very good way to bounce back from a small 3-game skid there. Game 10 of the season against the Carolina Hurricanes here. We're going to slow sim it, like I said. We're going to see how this team does. All right, period 1 against the Carolina Hurricanes. And it's 2-1 for the Hurricanes. They have Stamkos on their team, so Nikishin and Stamkos get the Hurricanes up, and Lawton gets the lone goal for the Butte Bandits. Shots are 11-10 for the Carolina Hurricanes, and the score currently stands in their favor, 2-1. Second period. And we tied up another goal by Cooper Appleby, so he's been doing pretty good. Shots are 28-18, so we dropped off a little bit there. But the score is currently tied, 2 apiece. Let's see, third period, gonna quick send this one. And we come out with the win, a goal by Nikita Shabrikov. Shots were 44-28, but we still got the win there, so very nice to see. We end up 6-3-1 through our first 10 games of the season. So not too bad. Let's see how everyone has done for the team through this small stretch. So Krebs with 5 points in 10 games, not too bad. Hayton's still keeping up. He's got 7 points in 10 games with 21 penalty minutes. He's been throwing fists everywhere. Brock Besser with 11 points in 10 games. Dominic Pruka with 10 points in 10 games. Cooper Appleby with 11 points in 10 games, but 8 goals in 10 games. Pretty impressive. Nikita Shabrikov with 9 points in 10 games. Noah Cates, newcomer, with 3 points in 10 games. Not that great. Dubois with 6 points in 10 games. And I know you guys might be freaking out. Why is he on the third line? I don't know. Maybe we'll bump him up here, put Hayton on the wing, and do Hayton, Dubois, Besser. That might work. You guys let me know in the comments what you want to see. Yegor Shinnikov, the other free agent signing, 4 points in 10 games. That's not too bad. Rasmussen with 3 points in 10 games. Lawton with 4 points in 10 games. And Garland with 5 points in 10 games. So that fourth line is still contributing a bit. And then defensively, this is where I think we're all waiting to see. We have 3 new additions to the back end. 2 of them being puck-moving, offensively minded defensemen, and 1 of them being a perfect all-around monster of a two-way defender. So we're going to see Sam Girard with 9 points in 10 games. He's so consistent, it's scary. And then Mike Benning with 7 points in 10 games, plus minus 2. So he's already making a name for himself in the NHL, eating up big minutes, not being a detriment to the team, and putting up points. Absolutely fantastic. Now, this second pairing, let's see. Edvinsson with no points in 10 games, but a plus minus 3, so he's not a detriment. And Pelika with 4 points in 10 games and a plus 6. So very good. Very good from the 3 newcomers. Holy crap. And then on that final pair, 6 points in 10 games for Keandre Miller and 2 points in 10 games for Brett Pesce. So our defense is just solid. And then in net, Philip Gustafson with 5 wins in 7 games, and 892 save percentage isn't the greatest, and 335 goals against average isn't the greatest. But then again, we look at Michael Hrabal. He's got 1 win in 5 games. But he's got a 908 save percentage and a 321 goals against average. So he's doing better for some reason. Has he even faced? He's only faced like 18 fewer shots than Gustafson. But he's turned away more pucks. It's actually pretty impressive. But that's going to wrap it up for this video here. I think we've made some pretty good strides with this team. I mean, 6-3-1 through the first 10 games is a pretty good jumping point. We did much better than what the Seattle Kraken have with a 1-8-1 through their first 10 games. But still, I don't know why. Maybe it's because those first 2 seasons with the team, I'm still a little snake bitten. I feel like we're still in a little bit of danger here. Still in a little bit of danger. But thank you guys so much for joining me. If you guys have any suggestions for line combinations, or who we should call up, or who we should trade away, or what we should look for, you guys let me know. I'm a decent GM, but I need all of my AGMs, and you guys are all my AGMs. I need you guys to let me know what would be best for the Butte Bandits. But thank you guys so much for joining me. This has been a blast, and I'll see you guys as we take this team through the rest of the season, probably to the trade deadline. But thank you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.